So good evening, everybody. Today we're going to talk about a topic in which we're going to deal with how to change our own karma based on 7 types of simple practices. So that's our topic today. Now, the sutra that we're going to discuss is Cūlakammavibhanga Sutta. That's the 135 sutra in the Majjhima Nikaya. And when most of the people think about this sutra who knows Buddhism, they actually they go into a negative perspective by thinking that the society is already decided and we can change negative karma into positive karma actually. So this sutra has to be carefully discussed. Otherwise, we might feel that we're going to decide everybody in this human world based on the previous karma actually. Okay. Now I would tell you why I tell that. This may not be common to each and everybody. Now Buddha uses a word called ekaccho. Ekaccho means some, not everybody. So ekaccho ittiva purisova, some man or woman, not all the men and women included in the whole context. We'll take a look what about the sutra's context actually. Now, as I told you, there are 7 simple practices we can use to change our own karma, especially about 7 things. Now, Buddha talks about why some men and women are short-lived and why some are long-lived. Why some are sickly, why some are healthy. Why some are ugly, why some are beautiful. Why some are uninfluential, why some are influential. Why some men and women are poor, why some are wealthy. Why some are low-born, why some are high-born. That is something related to the Indian context. Okay. Why some are stupid, why some are wise. So these are the things that Buddha talks about in this sutra. And he talks about why someone is short-lived, and then why all the reasons he actually discuss all the reasons in the sutra itself. Now, what is the background of this sutra? The background of this sutra is that there was a man called Subba, and Subba's father was Todeya. Todeya was actually a chaplain to a king at that time, and Todeya passed away, leaving a lot of treasures and wealth. Then what happened one day? The Buddha was invited by this son called Subba into his house for dana, okay, alms actually, sankadana. And when Buddha was coming on his way into this house, the dog of the house was not happy about this happening, this thing. And then he was really indignant about, unhappy about these monks, especially headed by the Buddha, and he was barking at the Buddha. And Buddha was actually really patient about the dog. He's an animal. And then, but at some point he said, "Hey Todeya, you did the same thing when you were alive. Now you're gonna do the same thing while you being an animal at this point." And then the dog knew that the Buddha identified him. He was really unhappy and frustrated, and he ran into house and then slept somewhere. Now, Subba, son of Todeya, he knew that Buddha called his dog to be his father, and he was really unhappy. And then Buddha gave a talk. Actually, this is the talk that Buddha gave. At the end of the talk, or somewhere in the talk, Buddha told Subba, we can do something with this dog, you can make a conversation with him and then ask, "Hey father, where are the treasures you you have hidden before you died. And then Buddha said he would show you. And then what happened? He did the same thing, and then he found all the treasures were hidden, actually put somewhere by his father. And then son Suba understood that this is my father. So that was the background story. Now Suba got to ask the Buddha why people are different based on the life, the length of the lifespan, why people are different from their beauty, and then why people are different from influence, why some are why some are actually wealthy and low born, stupid, and all these questions from the Buddha. There are basically 7 things that Suba asked from the Buddha. This is how he asked. Konuko bho Gotama hetu ko pachayo. So, dear Venerable Gotama, hetu means cause, pachayo means conditions. So, hetu prakti. So, what are the causes and conditions, Venerable sir? Yena manussanang yeva satang manussa bhutanang dissanti. Hina panitata dissanti bhogotam. And now Suba questions why I see that there is a huge difference between humans based on these things, lifespan, and then sicknesses, the health, and then beauty and influence and money, and then according to Indian societies and about the place that they are born, and then the wisdom or stupidity. So this question was raised by the son Suba from the Buddha. And then Buddha said, Kammasaka manava satta kamma dayada kamma yoni kamma bandhu kamma patisarana kammang satya vibhajati yadidang hina panita tayati. Actually, this is a very important statement of the whole sutra, but we have to be very careful, otherwise we might misconstrue the idea what Buddha meant with this statement. Manava is student or young man. Kammasaka means, actually the main concept in the sutra is karma actually. What is karma in Buddhism? Intentional action is the karma. But this is something really interesting and really tricky. The tricky part is that nobody never knows whether it was intentional or not. Nobody can know whether it was intentional or not, whether the other party is going to be really honest and then really, really genuine about what really happened. So that's why I'm thinking karma, which we understand as the intentional action, it's not a free pass to do any bad thing. Someone can say, okay, I don't know, I was driving and then I didn't know this thing happened without my notice, without my attention, and I didn't do by purpose, right? But the other party doesn't know whether it was really unintentional or intentional. So it's kind of a really tricky thing. That's why we have to be really honest and genuine to us when we gonna discuss about any outcome based on this moral concept, karma concept. Anyway, Buddha says, Kammasaka, beings are owners of their actions. So we are the owners of our own actions. Not even actions, words and thoughts, right? Satta kamma dayada. So heirs of their actions. We are the heirs of our actions. What is being inherited. Like, so we have our own inheritance of our actions, our thoughts and words. Like sometimes we inherit things from our parents. Like we may inherit from parents a house, maybe some money, right? But this is something really, really long term and really something that comes from a long time. So we are the heirs of our own actions, thoughts and words. They originate from their actions. That means we originate from our own karma. Kamma yoni. Kamma bandhu, we are born to our actions. So that means bandhu is a relative in Pali, but that means relatives are really helpful to us in our life. So karma can be a relative, which means that they are actually really with us all the time. Karma patisarana have their actions as their refuge. Actually, karma is our refuge, right? But sometimes, all the time, we go to Buddha for refuge, right? Buddhang saranang gacchami. Secondly, thirdly, right? Because we know that we have no refuge other than the Buddha, his teachings, and his venerable monks. But actually, most part of our refuge come from own karma, actually, actions, words, and thoughts. And then the nicest part in this statement is kammang satte vibhajati yadidang hina panita thayati. What does that mean? It is karma that distinguishes beings as inferior and superior. Now, this is the very statement which people misconstrue, because there is no saying that karma distinguishes at some points, beings as inferior and superior. Not karma all the time distinguishes beings as inferior and superior, right? So this is the problematic place where actually we see at this point. Because a lot of people that they describe that karma is the only thing that distinguishes beings as superior and inferior. Anyway, how we can actually settle this issue? That's why I was telling you there is a Pali word in all the descriptions in here, which is called sam, actually ekacho. So that means these karma components apply to some, not everybody. Because in Abhidhamma and commentaries, they talk about something like this: karma plays 1/5 of outcomes are actually things that happen to us in our life. As you know, there are seasonal things that can happen to us, like some natural disasters, right? Sometimes they are not a part of karma, right? We call utuniyam. And the germination, what happens around a tree, inside a tree, fruit, flower, that has nothing to do with karma. So we call it bijaniyam, right? And then kammaniyam. Kammaniyam is the karma concept. So karma plays only 1/5 of this whole concept about what happens to us. And then chittaniyama, what happens in our mind and mental concomitants, so mental factors, we call chitta chaitasika, they don't happen as a consequence of karma, right? And then dhammaniyama, phenomena, whatever the things happen to our life, like I was born and I'm aging, I can be vulnerable to sicknesses, I will die. These are not connected to karma. These are dharma. They are the real nature of any being. So that means this classification means that karma plays only 1/5 of outcomes that we experience in our life. So that's why we cannot say karma is the only thing which distinguishes all our outcomes or things happen to us. So, and as I told you, one interesting thing in this sutra that proves this understanding is ekacho. Ekacho. All the time Buddha uses ekacho. This is some, not all. Okay. Let's go to the first step. Now, the first step is, lifespan. Why some people are short-lived? Why some people are long-lived? So we're going to talk about long-lived part as a step, as a step to practice our life. So that means that we can use that simple practice to have a long life. Now, what does Buddha say? Here some man or woman kills living beings and is murderous, luddu, bloody-handed, lohitapani, given to blows and violence, hatapahate nivitto, merciless to living beings, adayapanno sabbapana bhutesu. So somebody is there who is who kills living beings, and murderers, bloody-handed and given to blows and violence, merciless to living beings, merciless to living beings. Because of performing and undertaking such action on the dissolution of the body, that person's life, after death, he or she reappears in a state of deprivation, in an unhappy destination, in perdition, even in hell. So, in terms of his or her next life, he or she gonna be born in an unpleasant life, and that's not the point here. Actually, the point is, then we see people who are short-lived. How does that happen? The same person, after reappeared in those unpleasant places, he or she come back to the human life for some reasons. But if on the dissolution of the body after death, he or she does not reappear in a state of deprivation, in an unhappy destination, in perdition, in hell, but instead comes back to the human state, then wherever she is reborn, he or she is short-lived. Sometimes some are not reappeared in such unpleasant places. Some, for some other good karma, they come back. Because we can't say a person who is merciless to living beings may not have done other good karma. So for that reason, such people can come back, and what happens to them is that they have a very short life in this world, in this human world. So that is why such a person has a short life. Now, the first simple practice to strengthen, to lengthen our long life in this life is to be compassionate towards all the being that has everything. So we don't kill any living being. We are very compassionate. We would like to take care of the lives of everybody, every being, not even human. So that is the nature of perspective that we should develop all the time. So that helps us a long life. Now that is this life thing, right? So anybody who has done such a thing, or anybody who hasn't done such a thing, can be compassionate to living beings, to himself, herself, and to other all living beings. So that's a simple first practice that we can change our karma. Number 2, it is about why some people are always unhealthy or always sickly all the time. Why they have a lot of issues all the time. They have this thing, this pain, that pain, this problem all the time. We all get sick, but some have a very hard time. All the time they are unhealthy, sickly. What is the reason? The reason is ida manava ekacho ittiva purisova sattanang viheta kajatiko hoti paninava ledunava dandenava sattenava. Some man or woman is given to injuring beings with the hand, right? With a claw, with a stick, or with a knife. That means if somebody is to harass or injure beings with any weapon, any type of thing, weapon type of thing, such people they will be sickly in this life and in the next life. If somebody does not do that, such people are not sickly, they are healthy all the time. So injuring other people. First one, it was to kill other beings. Now here, it was to injure other people, other beings actually. So the simple practice that everybody of us can practice is not to injure any being. So that helps us to be healthy this life and in the next lives until we become arahant, become an arahant, right? The second practice. The third practice is why some are ugly, why some are beautiful. I mean, we try to see everything in a positive way. We never say that this person is ugly, this person is beautiful. We try to say, okay, you have a different beauty because I see your beauty, right? But actually, there is something called beauty in this ugliness, right? In this understanding, right? Now Buddha says why some are ugly, why some are beautiful in the first place, right? Sometimes when some people look at some persons, in the first place they feel like, oh, what a nice and handsome, beautiful, pretty person, right? But the same people don't get the same impression by getting to see some other people, right? So there should be a reason why there. The reason why some are ugly, because in this life or in the past lives, they were of an angry, irritable character. Kodano hoti. They were angry people. Or they were irritable people. All the time they have a character of being irritable and angry. Appampi vutto samano abhisajyati. Even when criticized a little, he or she is offended. There are people like such in our life too, right? Even when you just kid for a moment, they get upset, right? Because they're getting angry for some reasons. So that's not a good thing, right? Kopancha dosancha, kuppati vyapajyati patityeti. Such people become angry, become hostile, become patityeti means become resentful. Even at a smaller thing, right? Which apparently does not actually single out that person. Kopancha dosancha appachyancha patukaroti. So after such things happen, this person displays anger, hate and bitterness. All the time she is ready for showing that indignation, anger, right? So when somebody is all the time or always angry, has a character of being irritable, gets upset all the time. So that is the fundamental reason of being ugly. Actually, that it's a scientific thing, right? If you get angry all the time, a lot of things happen inside your body, right? So that's a kind of a scientific proven thing too. So in the long run, in your samsara, you could be ugly because you're getting angry all the time, you're getting upset you're getting irritated all the time, you're getting annoyed all the time, right? So that is why some are ugly. So why some are beautiful? Because they are not angry. They can tolerate. They have more patience. They don't get frustrated at smaller things, right? They could last in such situations more than the people who are getting angry at those. Okay, so the third simple practice to change your karma is to be patient, tolerant, and then not become angry, not become irritable at anything. So that's a good thing. So then you know that this will lead to you may be beautiful, you may be all the good things, right? At the same time, that good thing, that the nature of being beauty will get strengthened in the long run if you are not getting angry and irritable. And then the fourth simple practice that we can change our karma is about influence. Not all of us can be influential towards other people and towards a country all the time, right? Why some people are uninfluential? Their words are not their words don't mean a lot to many people, but some other people's words mean, even a simple short word mean a lot to other people. Why some people are such? Why some people are not such? The reason being, there are some men and women who are envious about what? About the gains, paralabha, honor, sakkara, garukara, respect, reverence, manana, salutations, vandana, venerations, pujanasu. Okay, when somebody is getting gains and being honored, getting respectful, getting getting saluted, getting venerated, such things are not really tolerated by somebody, right? And what happens in such people when looking at other people getting gains, respect and all these things, they get envious, they get resented, they feel that it's something really not good with their ideologies. This can happen. It's basically jealousy, right? Jealousy. So when somebody is jealous, that is the reason that why some are not influential, some are uninfluential, right? So we have to be really happy about others, gains. That is a good karma, actually, right? So now, according to this, what we understand is that if you are really happy, appreciative, and deeply happy about when others getting all these good things, that leads you to be influential in this life and in the future lives too. Why some are influential? Because they are not jealous about others' gains, others' respect, others' reverence, others' all the good things. So the fourth simple practice to change your karma is that if you are not influential, then you are not, that you could be not jealous about others' things that would help you to change your karma. The fifth simple practice is about why some are wealthy, why some are not. If someone does not give to monastics, especially food, drink, clothing, carriages, we call anna means food, panang is drink, vatang is clothing, yanang is carriages. Don't know what does that mean actually. Probably that time, this could be giving a ride to a monk, right? At some point, maybe you're offering kind of a carriage for their comfort when they ride. And garlands, mala garlands, gandha scents. That means in a positive way, I guess, right? Not even the Buddhist monks. This does not even talk about the Buddhist monk. The whole recluses who left houses. Unguents means vilepanang. Seya vasata padipeyang, beds, dwelling, and lamps. So if somebody does not offer these things, food, drink, clothing, carriages, garlands, scents, unguents, beds, dwellings, and lamps to recluses, especially those spiritual people, that is why they become poor. That is why they will become poor. So the simple practice is to give such things to them, so that will help you to be wealthy this life and next lives. That's the fifth simple practice. And the practice number 6, the simple practice number 6 is about actually low birth and high birth. Actually, this is mostly related to the Indian type of a life, because in India, they have a huge caste system at some point. So then, why some are born into a low birth? Why some are born into high birth? The reason being, some are obstinate, arrogant. Some men and women, they are obstinate, arrogant. We call taddo hoti atimani. Abhivade tabbang na abhivade. Some women and men do not pay homage to the one who should receive homage, right? Pachutta tabbang na pachutteti. Do not rise up for one in whose presence he or she should rise up. Asana rahassa asanang nadeti. Do not offer a seat to one who deserves a seat. Magga rahassa maggang nadeti. Do not make way for one whom he shall make way. Sakka tabbang na sakkaroti. Do not honor some men and women. The garuka tabbang na garukaroti. Do not respect the one who should be respected, the one who should be honored. Mane tabbang na maneti. Do not venerate and revere actually. Puje tabbang na pujeti. Do not respect or worship the one who should be worshipped. So this is the very reason why some are born into low births. Okay, so actually we have to find out as we understand from other sutras that pujaja pujaniyana, something like that. So we have to be really respectful for the really needy, who should be respected in our life. That is a really good thing for us to be happy in terms of this life and next lives. So the one who respects, who worships, who are not obstinate, arrogant about such worthy people, they have a high birth this life, next life. That's the simple practice number 6. The last one. It's about why some people are stupid, why some people are wise. Actually, we get to see a lot of people in our life, the way that they behave, the way that they talk to us, the way that we understand how they think, we feel like they may be wise, they may be not wise. So the reason being, some men and women may not visit a recluse or a monastic and then ask from such monastic people what is wholesome, what is not wholesome, unwholesome. Called samanangva brahmanangva upasankamitva na paripuchita hoti kim bante kusala kim akusala. Actually, this is the very question that a devotee or any person should ask from a monk. What is kusala, what is akusala? This is the fundamental basic thing that they should know before they go to meditation, before they go to any other thing. King savajjam, king anavajjam. What is blamable, what is blameless? There are some, actions, words and thoughts which are really blamable among the wise people. Some are not. King sevitabbang, king na sevitabbang. What should be cultivated, what should not be cultivated, especially the kusala, wholesome or skillful actions. Kimme kariyamanang digarattang ahitaya dukkhaya hoti. What kind of action will lead to my harm and suffering for a long time? Right? So this is something any person should ask in the first place from a monk, from a nun. What does it mean by this statement? Kingwa paname kariyamanang digarattang hitaya sukhaya hoti. What kind of action will lead to my welfare and happiness for a long time? So any person who approaches a monk, nun or such a spiritual person should ask what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, what is blamable, what is blameless in the first place. So this is what they should ask from a monastic in the first place, not other things. So if such people get to ask those very important questions from a monk or nun, that means that they're trying to be wise. So they are not into stupidity. Actually, the stupidity that we see in this sutra is not just a stupidity that we see in the secular normal life. It's about the stupidity in the sansara, actually. Okay, and then the opposite is the wisdom. So if somebody had already asked what is kusala, what is akusala, what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, what is blamable, what is not unblameable, right, or blameless, from a monastic or a monk or nun or such spiritual people, that is why they have become wise. That is why they will become wiser in the next lives too. So that is the seventh simple practice to change our life. So our karma. So once again, I am going to remind the seven. The first is how we can actually change a short life. The second, how we can change a unhealthy life or a sickly life. The third is how we can change an ugly life, or nature of a person. And then the fourth thing is how we can change our influence. The fifth thing is how we can change our state of positions or possessions. The sixth thing is how we can change, especially this is related to the Indian context, the place of birth. And the seventh thing is that how we can change our wisdom, or the stupidity into wisdom. So these are the seven things that Buddha talks about in this sutra. So don't think that, as I told you, karma is the only thing that changes, because Buddha says ekacho. Ekacho means all these apply to some, not everybody, right? So there are other four things, and he also talked about many other things, right? That could not be a part of karma. So, but karma plays a bigger role in our lives. So now it's time for any questions. If you have any questions, you can ask those questions. You didn't sing hello English, it's fine. No, if you have no questions, so we can transfer good karmas to departed relatives and the deities. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Ettavatāca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu samba sangpatti siddhya. Ettavatāca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu samba sangpatti siddhya. Ettavatāca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu samba sangpatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanang. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti. So let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas we've been accumulating so far help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana as well. Give a sadhu, and then I'm going to bless you with a couple more stanzas. Abhivadana silissa niccang baddha pachāino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sangha sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samicchatu.